Yes, sir. It's your man, Majestic 419 in the building. W.I.G.Y radio podcast interview with my man Takeover. What's going on, yo?
Yeah. You already know the vibes, my guy. It's good to see you.
Man, it's good seeing you. A long time coming once again, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, like I said, man, you one of my favorites in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? All time.
Appreciate you.
I watched you grow, and I watched you elevate and go to another level and really find yourself. Really find
Appreciate you.
your niche, your glitch, your takeover. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And find who you are and what you about and what your style about. Now I feel like the future for you is for me is that everybody's going to start copying takeover because takeover is building his own, you know what I'm saying, his thing. So how you doing, by the way, man? I'm just excited.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
man, I am too, bro. Definitely excited to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Absolutely. I'm feeling great, bro. To be honest with you, things are going good just in every facet of my life. You know what I mean? I thank God for that. I really try to find myself just being in a positive space, a positive state of mind, right? I'm not saying everything in my life goes perfect, but I just really look for the win in every situation, bro. And I've been able to kind of persevere through that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to get off in a little, some things, I want to ask you. So how did you start making music, man? Let the people know how you started making music and what was your, purpose.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question, bro. So as far as I can remember, like even when I was a young kid, I just always liked music. Every genre didn't matter. I listened to all kind of stuff. Was definitely a very big fan of Michael Jackson at a very young age. I just thought what he did is amazing, and just the showmanship and just being on stage, everybody loving you like that, right? And so I definitely fell in love just with that whole kind of environment very early on. And then I think when I was probably about 8, 9, maybe, that's when I first started really writing, raps, if you will. Didn't
Right.
really know what I was doing, to be honest with you. I was just trying to emulate what I had seen, all the greats do and all the people I was seeing, back in that day, we was just only watching, BT videos, MTV videos. So it's like
Right.
seeing them and seeing all that, really inspired me. So yeah, I think about 8 or 9 is when I started really writing. And then it was probably about like 13, 14 when I first started going to the studio and I actually got my own voice recorded, and instantly just fell in love with that, bro. And to be honest, it was just off to the races from there.
Well, yeah, man, that I mean, that's what it is. Takeover is like, the things that we grow up envisioning and listening to when we hear something that make us move, it's like a whole nother thing. It brings a whole nother light. It was like the first time I heard, I'm an OG, you know what I'm saying? So when the first time I heard, Sugar Hill Gang, that's all I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn that song because it was different than anything that was out at the time. You see what I'm saying? And just from that, and you see where music and hip hop has taken it now. You know what I'm saying? For you to be embedded in that and a part of that for years and years of your life. Not saying you didn't love any other music, like you just said, you loved all types of music, but hip hop brought something to you where you felt like, man, I can do that, and I'm going to do that, right?
Right. No, absolutely, bro. Like to be honest with you, hip hop just has that place in my heart. It's in my soul, bro. You know what I mean? And there was definitely times, where I was going through situations growing up, where it was like, yo, I feeling like in a dark space. And I really had, to lean back, I guess you could say, on just all the music that I was listening to at the time. And, I remember just sitting in my room sometimes, situation, whether it was with a girl or, parents going through it with them or just, friends, whatever it was, man. But it was like, that was always there for me, something I can always fall back on. So it definitely became ingrained in my life for sure.
No doubt, man. I just want you to let you the fans know and the people that's not fans yet, uh what's your purpose in your music? What you bring to the what you take over bring to the table that no other artist brings?
Yeah, absolutely. So, me myself, man, especially as I'm starting to age a little bit more, I'm really understanding that, as a creative, as somebody that is, influential, when you have these platforms, and when you have people, looking at you, I guess, so to speak, it's really a great deal of responsibility, right? Because, there could be kids looking up to me. There's, just any type of situation like that, man. So my purpose is I really want to try to represent hip hop in its purest form. You know what I'm saying? And show
Mm.
people that, this is a deep, really deep culture at the end of the day. And so just being a part of that and being able to, you know, further myself and better myself, right? Because that's what music has done for me. I know it's a lot of people that might be out there dealing with situations, this and that. So, like I said, this is the thing that I fall back on. So if I could give that to other people, that would be like my gift to them. You know what I mean? So really, that's mainly it, man. Just trying to represent hip hop in a good light. And I think what makes me unique is, really not just the way I rap or what I'm rapping about, but just my upbringing. I was in a really unique situation growing up, and it just gave me a really unique perspective with life in general. So I think just having that perspective and being able to translate that into music is really what I bring to the table.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, it's almost what do you know, bro, that it is almost like what 20 years is me and you met,
Easy, right?
you know?
It's crazy.
Crazy, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a long time coming, man. We actually, like I said, I did an interview back in 2018 with you. You know what I'm saying? And I still have the recording till this day. I even have the Snapchat, I think, till this day for that on that. You know what I'm saying? And just to see where you came from that point, from just that point to now is truly amazing, bro. Um,
Thank you.
I wanted to get off into, what who inspired you? Like who and what inspired you to do music and
Absolutely.
get off into this, man, like
Yeah, so it's definitely changed, right? Just because as we've seen rapper, just hip hop in general has changed over the years, right? So I think initially maybe I could say my Sugar Hill gang would be the Wu-Tang Clan. I think that was really the first group of cats that I was just like, yo, I mean, like these dudes are dope to me, right?
that?
And I remember being so hyped because I had finally, memorized Triumph, bro. Every member's verse, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to spit it just like, they did essentially, right? And that was like really inspiring to me. And I think that was one of the first moments where I was like kind of realizing like, yo, I could do this too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it kind of transitioned from that to definitely went through my Dipset phase, right? Like I think when
Right.
Joel Santana and all them came onto the scene, bro, right?
Yeah,
Like damn near had me talking with a New York slang, and I'm from the
yeah,
Midwest. You know what I'm saying,
right.
right? So, yeah, but definitely inspired by them, and then it kind of transitioned eventually, more deeper into the Midwest, right? Like artists, such as Kanye West, definitely a big fan. Eminem, obviously D12, bro, just that whole thing. I remember being at my mom's house, man, and like I said, the time of videos, just seeing like D12 videos on the screen, bro, and thinking like these guys, obviously are 50 minutes away. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
that was the first real close, big stars that I had close enough within reach or whatever. You know what I mean? Driving distance. So, but definitely, yeah, I'll say that'd be my inspiration for real. All those cats.
Oh, no doubt, man. And like I said, like I feel like you crafted, your style, your format, not nobody else's. Like I ain't saying that you didn't, even practice other artists because you got to
Sure.
build yourself, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you gotta find yourself. And I feel like you found yourself at a you know at a peak where right now you can virtually spit anything on anything with anything, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and that's why I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan because of that, not just because you know me, but I'm a big fan because you put in the hard work and the time and the effort and really learn this whole thing of hip hop, of rapping, MCing, because that's what I consider you as. I consider you as an MC, not a rapper. Because you got a million rappers, and only a handful of MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Speaking it roughly, it's a lot of MCs, but I'm speaking it like in a small amount. There's more rappers than there are MCs, So
yeah, no. I'd agree with that, bro, and I definitely appreciate that. I'm still in that journey, right? Like to where I feel like I'm still putting in some of my 10,000 hours. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but I have been in the practice of just showing up, even when I didn't feel like it, bro. There's plenty of days where I wake up and it's just tough to be takeover, bro. Right? Like I got things going on during the day. I'm supposed to be here. They're calling me about this. We're supposed to be working on that. Like it could get real busy at times, but I feel like at the end of the day, like I said, I've just been showing up and I've been, like you said, doing that work, bro. Getting in the studio every day, just try to write every day and really just continuing to try to get better in my craft, you know what I mean? And really taking it serious, you know what I mean? And I've definitely had my moments where, I was trying to rap like this guy or trying to rap like this guy.
yeah,
And, it did teach me certain things. It teach me how to control my breath, right? It teach me how to enunciate my words and it teach me, things like staying in the pocket to where now I don't feel like I have to sound like anybody else. You know what I mean? I feel like very confident I can come out with my own, unique sound. And, I basically get beats sent to me from all different directions. I try to work with as many people as I can. But,
right.
once I get that beat, bro, and, I listen to it once and I know within 2 seconds whether I'm about to make a song or not. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much where it's at now. So, I definitely, I just appreciate and have a lot of gratitude for the work I put in for sure.
No doubt, man. I look at it like, all these years that went by with us knowing each other. I want you to let the fans know out there because it's bigger than takeover, right? Right?
Absolutely.
About your family. Because takeover has a family, a beautiful wife, kids, explain to them how much they mean to you and how they support you and bring what they bring to the table for you to, keep doing it and keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. So, I'm so glad you brought that up, bro, because to be honest with you, as much as I have accomplished in my life, doing these tours and doing, nationwide shows, all these things, man, like at the end of the day, anybody that's ever been on the road will tell you, and I'm sure you know, bro, like when you
Mhm.
get out on that road and you're traveling and you're just getting beat down. You know what I mean? You're sleeping a couple hours, not eating the best food, right? Being in
Uh,
uncomfortable places you ain't never been, right? You really need some type of piece of home and peace. That's the biggest thing, home and peace. Those are my two things I try to really keep sacred to myself. But being out there in that situation, being able to call back home and my girl gets on the phone, you know what I mean? And she's excited to talk to me. She's asking me what's going on, and I can be real with her. Something that a lot of people may not know. Me and my girl are going on 16 years this year,
yeah,
bro. We
man,
got together when we was
congratulations.
pretty young. Thank you. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Thank you. And she's really like my ride or die. She's my best friend. Share everything with her. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it comes to the music, I mean, it's a cool situation because she respects it as a job. You know what I'm saying? She knows that I do have fun, but she sees that this is something that's serious. It's not just a hobby, right? And so because it is a career choice, like I said, she's done nothing but support it from the beginning. Continues to do it to this day. And
Right.
I'll let y'all in on a little tip for everybody out there. Some of the creative decisions at the end of the day get made by her, right? You know what
Oh,
I'm
no
saying?
doubt. That's what you need, man. That's why it's not. They don't. I don't call them wives no more, man. I call them
Right.
lifetime partners
Lifetime partner.
because that's what they bring to the table. Sometimes you don't want to hear that though, and then you
Right.
hear it and it sparks something in you, and you like, babe, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand that, man. I got it with my wife all the time. She helps me with creative stuff. Even with this, with the radio station. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Everything. So That's a big thing. I wanted you to touch on like your kids, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they very active, you know what I'm saying? I know you're a
Yeah.
family guy like Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? With the girls, you know. So you go
Yeah.
you go to their events and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, right before here, this interview, I just did 2.5 hours of volleyball with my youngest. You know what I'm saying? I got three altogether. So two girls and a boy. Yep, like I said, my youngest right now, she's in volleyball. Getting ready to put her into, she's going to private school this next year. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's money, 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 right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how it is, man. But hey, you want the best for them, you know. That's the
Right,
thing,
right.
man. I want to exploit the takeover that don't nobody really get to see or notice because they don't understand. Some people don't understand that even though you out on the road traveling, you do this music thing that you are a human being. At the end of the day, you have feelings too. You have a separate lifestyle from what you're doing in music to over, your family. So I
Yeah,
want to exploit that because I know you're a good, spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? So I
yeah,
want
no
to
doubt.
let you know, let the fans know how takeover is because he just don't want to just take over the music game. He want to bless
Right.
others too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, that's my motivation, man. And thinking about my oldest two, like I said, I got two girls and a boy, man. That's really just where I'm at now. When I'm not on the road, when I'm not doing stuff, in the studio, linking with promoters and all that, I'm on the phone with them, seeing what they're doing. My oldest two, they're a little bit older now. So
Right,
they're kind of starting to come into their own, but I couldn't be more proud of what all my kids is doing, man. They're taking care of business, you know what I mean, working and just doing what they need to do and living life, man. And it's beautiful to see them growing up, and to see them just being able to come into their own. So yeah, definitely when I'm not on the road, that's what I'm doing. Like you said, I live a life. I'm human. I got I get mad, I get
no
frustrated,
doubt,
I get upset,
no doubt, no
I get
doubt.
sad. You know what I mean? I go through that whole perspective, bro. But to be honest with you, and if I could, leave this out there for anybody, man, like the thing is, even though we are human, you know what I mean, and that's okay. Again, it's really just my perspective, bro. You know what I mean? It's really carried me, and it's something I try to instill in my kids too, because I'm some people make fun of me for it. I love it. I take it. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm always a glass half full type of guy, right? In any situation, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, just being having that type of perspective, I could say, I think it's really opened a lot of doors for me. It's helped me maintain a lot of relationships, and it's really just helped me keep myself in a direction where even though bad things happen from time to time, I know that good thing is just around the corner, bro. And I know that God, the universe, and like you said, spirituality, like I couple all those things together.
Right,
I know it's just all gonna work out in the end.
right. Yeah, you think y'all give it up for my boy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, appreciate
So
you.
with that being said, man, I want to get off into the music, man. So you sent me Yup, right?
Yes, sir.
A long while ago, you know what I'm saying? It's not old, but it's a while back in
Yeah, a couple
2025.
months. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So what was the creation of that? Why I say, okay, yep, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna make it hot, make it fire.
Yeah, no, facts, bro. So yep, was just kind of one of those beats where it was more of definitely like a high energetic beat or something that I would call more like an anthem beat, right? To where my goal with the chorus was essentially to create this kind of vocal ensemble, if you will, right? We did a couple of layers of my voice on that and everything. And it basically I wanted to invoke the spirit in people when they heard it, where it's almost like you hearing the anthem for your favorite sports team, right? It's getting you amped up, you know what I mean? And it's like, hey, it's game time, let's go. Like, we got things to do. We ain't finished yet type of situation. And it really just inspired me to kind of reflect on, the fact of my journey, right? Like I've never given up on music. Thank God. And basically that was kind of the sentiment in there is where I'm not giving up on music, whatever it is in your life that you got going on. If you out there, hearing that song, it's like, don't
Right,
give up on what you're doing. right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
regardless of what anybody's saying, regardless of what you're going through, just don't give up. So, I the way I name my songs, I'll be honest, the naming convention, it's a little unorthodox. It really just depends. I know sometimes people like to just take a certain spot of a song and just name it that. That's
Right.
what happened with this one, but it's not always like that for me. You know what I mean? I just sometimes get the weirdest inspiration and name the song, when I name them. So, but I also like to keep it short and sweet too. I don't know if you noticed, but kind of a trend that I do with my songs, I usually only use one word for the title. You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
usually feel like if I can't sum it up with one word, and then it's kind of time to go back to the drawing board, try to figure it out. So, features and stuff is a little bit different, but it's just kind of like the mark of my songs. You know what I mean? I just use one word. So,
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Well, I love the song, man. The song's off the chain, man. It's
appreciate you.
like I said, it was more of a stamp to me to let me know and the world know that takeover is here to stay, and there's nothing no one can do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, Repercussions is the new one.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I seen the video of that, and I was kind of upset because I wanted Yep to be a video, a full video, which you gave us the visual. I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
a full video, but I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But the repercussion was a whole nother level, and it was like I seen my city from our city, let me say, from a whole nother perspective that you was bringing it to. Tell me what came up with the song Repercussions, and also explain the video.
No doubt, bro. So, Repercussions is definitely just one of those songs, right? Where I knew I was in a mood to kind of make something that I thought was going to be more relatable, right? That maybe somebody out there has been through a situation that's similar and they could kind of say, hey, man, that's what he's talking about. So I've been through that, right?
Right,
It really, on the inspiration side, I'm a generous dude at times. I definitely got a good heart. So it's like, if it's not going to hurt me to help you, then that's something I might try to do, right? And I did that for an individual. Um, their repayment to me was essentially just doing some really grimy shit, bro, for real. You know what I mean? And I'm lesson learned, right? I mean, it's not going to stop me from reaching my hand out to other people. It just was a situation where I had to really cut this person off, and for my betterment, for my family, you know what I mean? And that's what ended up happening. And so why not let it be an inspiration for a song, right? So I'm definitely talking about a real situation. I didn't really get too muddy and deep in the waters as far as like saying somebody's name and saying, "Hey, this was exactly what you did." I didn't want to make it seem like I was complaining, but I
right,
just wanted
right,
to at least bring that element out, right? Like I think we've all had somebody in our lives that's been like, we try to help them out, and just like no matter what you do, man, they just still want to do what they want to do, and then they end up just being grimy. You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely something, like I said, wanted to be relatable. And then as far as the video, man, uh, every week essentially I walk downtown, and there's this same path that I walk. It's right along the river. And I was just kind of walking there, just kind of in my own little meditation, if you will, and just kind of creating in my mind. And I just started seeing the trees, and just started even just the pathway, and just everything kind of come together. And I thought, man, like this is kind of really feels cinematic to me, right? Like
right,
I was walking through, and so I said, this would definitely be a good spot for a video. And then obviously I was super inspired by that mural, bro. You know what I'm saying? Quick fact about Toledo, I'm not sure if a lot of people notice, you may notice, but
yeah,
we have the biggest mural in Toledo in the United States. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's right there on the river, and I think that that's amazing because there's a lot of great artists in Toledo, things like that, man. And I think Toledo's starting to have a little bit of a renaissance where you're starting to see a lot more. It's not really just graffiti, if you will, which graffiti's dope too, but people that are making these murals are amazing, man. And so getting that mural in there, just having that as my backdrop, you know what I mean? I just thought that'd be a great backdrop. I'm under the bridge. A lot of people recognize that bridge.
right,
And then as far as, that river scene, I really loved how the color grading and everything came out on that. Just being able to had that, bridge in the background, and I thought it would be recognizable for a lot of people, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just kind of all came together for real.
Hey, and big shout outs to the director. I know you had your hand in it too, but the man that shot the video, the person that shot the video, whoever shot it, they did an awesome job. The editing was, nice, real nice. I liked it. I liked the song. Um, I think it's another banger to me. I think it's gonna be another banger in your career, that's gonna take you, further. And we want to know what's the future for Takeover.
So, one thing I just want to touch back on real quick. You might be a little surprised to do this or hear this, excuse me. But so that video, I shot that by myself. I didn't
Okay.
have anybody, with me, no cameraman, no nothing like that. I shot it by myself, got all the angles, got all the movement, you know what I mean? And not only did I do that, but I was the one to edit it. I put it all together. I've worked with a lot of people in the past, bro, and I've just found that, nothing against anybody. Everybody's got their talents, but sometimes I could be very stubborn, if you will, on my vision, right? And I know how I want something to turn out. And so I just kind of took that model where if you want something done a certain way, you got to do it yourself.
No
So
doubt.
not only have I been taking the time, obviously, to elevate my craft as far as like lyrically and things of that nature, but as far as getting in front of that computer screen, bro, and doing the boring work that usually gets delegated to other people, right? We got video engineers and videographers, cinematographers, all that, but I really have taken some time in the last couple of years to really embrace all of that. And so leading to the future with that, bro, I, I see the future as being wide open. I've got a really distinct vision right now, of what I'm trying to do, which is mainly just building this community right now, right? Like I feel like I'm building my community. Anytime I share on social media, I always get a great response. I'm definitely grateful for that.
Right.
And I'm not somebody that posts 4 or 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So I know that sometimes you got to do that to really stay relevant with these algorithms. We all are pressing against these algorithms, right? But
Yeah,
as
yeah,
somebody
I
that
get
doesn't
that.
post like that, you know what I mean? I definitely feel like I get a really great response. I know that my music's connecting with people. So yeah, being that I'm inspired to do that, just looking forward to dropping some more singles, you know what I mean? Some more bangers, dropping some more videos, and just kind of continuing to build this community, until we can get to the point where this is the only thing that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no doubt, man. Well, tell the people, how to get a hold of you, how to get in touch with you, all that stuff. Give them that info, man, and just lay it on
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. So, just so you know, the spelling of my name, TA space Kova, right? To Kova. You can definitely find me pretty much anywhere at this point, bro. I've done a lot in the last year or so to really get my SEO game up. So, you can ask Siri about me. You can go on Shazam and find me. I'm on every DSP, you know what I'm saying? Every platform. So, no matter what you listen to, whether Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, you know what I mean? Even like I said, some of the lesser known ones, I'm on there too. So you could definitely look me up on there. All the social medias, on TikTok, on Facebook,
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Really just been perpetuating the YouTube channel. That was something I really didn't do for a while because I was just using the rest of the social medias, but starting to really pump up the YouTube now too. So I'm on there as well. But yeah, TAKOVA, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Any shows coming up? Any big events you doing?
Yeah, so I'm always doing stuff with the guys up north. We got a battle that we going to tomorrow, up in Highland Park.
Okay.
And then I think the end of this month, I think on the 30th, doing a show, with Bizarre up there in I think it's in Jackson, Michigan. And then the next show that I'm doing down here, the date is TBD, but the promoter just hit me probably 2 days ago, asked me if I wanted to come out and perform. So it's supposed to be down at the docks. That should be a pretty good show. So yeah, definitely got a few things going on, and it's just getting the summer, bro. So if everything is starting to open up and everybody's starting to book
Yes.
people, so yeah,
It's starting to get to that boiling point, man. But
yes, sir.
I wanted to let you know, man, thank you for taking your time out your busy schedule, man, enjoying me, man. And I appreciate it. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? You always been, you know, my guy. You know what I'm saying? That dude. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So,
Yeah,
with that being said, thank you. Thanks, for coming out and, joining me. And that's how we do it, man. W.I.G.Y
absolutely.
Radio Podcast. My man Takeover came out, blessed me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will hear, his music. Yep. And send me that repercussion too, man.
I'm slacking on that, bro. I got you right after this.
24/7. Send me all of it, man, if you want to, man. And I got you, bro. I'm a
Yeah,
big supporter of you. And anything else you need from me, man, let me know, man. Because I'm here for you, man. Let's network. Keep it going.
absolutely, bro. Got nothing but love for you. I love you too, bro. It's been a long time coming, like you said. I'm just glad that we both here, got our health, got a good future in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Got family to love us, and just to be blessed enough to be able to be doing what we love still. So definitely thanks for the opportunity, bro. We'll definitely keep working. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to the
Oh,
future.
no doubt, man. And that's it for me, man. That's my time. Shouts out to my man Takeover, man. Good looking out. Yes, sir.
Peace, man. I appreciate you.